Hi everyone, welcome to my channel if you're new here, welcome back if you're a returning viewer or subscriber. Today's video is going to be my July TBR jar picks, my reads for the month of July. I love doing these videos. I'm not sure whether you're getting burnt out from them. Are you bored of them yet? Let me know because I don't think I'm quite there yet. I'll think of an alternative idea if anybody is feeling like we're past these a little bit. But yeah, I'm excited for July. I feel like June just absolutely sped by. It was kind of a slow month, but like in terms of my reading, I got to a lot of things, but I also feel like I was finishing up a lot of what I was in the middle of, and I didn't get to so many books that were new to me, as in like ones I put on my June TBR. At this current rate, with a couple of days left of the month, I think I've only read 2 books that were on the TBR, and I think we picked out about 5. So I'm hoping that July will be better, which means that we're going to be kind of a bit more careful about what we're picking out. Having said that though, I have very few books that on my radar. It's just the ones that are on my summer TBR pretty much. I'll have that video linked in the cards and also down below if you want to see what that is. And I will be trying to prioritize those reads, so trying to fit them in wherever I can. I've kind of split that list up into July and August, and the ones that I've kind of set for July I will be trying to weave into the TBR. I've added a couple more prompts to the little TBR jar just because I was getting really sick of having to go through, pick out one and then realize we'd had it like last month and it would just be really repetitive and boring. So there's a bunch of new prompts in here, and if we come across any that I've previously had, I might just remove them from a jar completely. We're starting fresh basically. I think I'm going to pick out 5 or 6 depending on what books we get, whether we get any long ones, things like that. But without further ado, let's just get on with the video. Okay, prompt number 1. I'm going to do a shuffle because I've got all the new ones on top. Okay, we'll go with this one. Oh, I think this is actually a new one because I wrote these a bit smaller. Read the first sentence and decide off that. So I have to pick out a couple of books I'm kind of interested in. I'll choose it by which one has the most interesting first sentence. So what are we thinking? Maybe I'll choose a couple ones off my summer TBR. We'll go with, I'll do Exteriors by ernaux. Too Much I'm Not the Mood. I just remembered that the Happy Ever After playlist is also on summer TBR, so we're going to go between these 3 reads. Very, very different vibes. We've got a contemporary romance, we've got a non-fiction essay collection, and then we've got this little blend of fiction and non-fiction. I'll read out each of the sentences and then we'll see which one I like the best. This is such a silly prompt, but whatever. It's kind of fun. Exteriors is first up. For the last 20 years, I've lived in Cergy-Pontoise, a new town 40 kilometers outside of Paris. Interesting. I feel like that's not going to win, but we'll see. Got Too Much I'm Not the Mood. There's an emoji on my phone that I've never used of a shell pink tower block building with blue windows. That's kind of fun. I like that. Happy Ever After playlist by Abby Jimenez. Do you want me to meet you at the cemetery, Sloane? Okay, we're going to go with this. We're going to go with Too Much I'm Not the Mood. I do not know how to pronounce this author's name. I actually really need to look into that. First book on the TBR for a book based off of its first line. I'll talk through what these books are about at the end of the video when we go through everything I've chosen. But that's great because it means I've already got one that was on my summer TBR. Okay, prompt number 2. Do this one. This could be another new one actually. It is. Okay. We've got random number generator. How am I going to do this? I think we might go off of this shelf here just because it's got like a good range of things. We've got romance and we've also got some like more contemporary fiction, like historical fiction even, stuff like that. And I'm gonna ask Siri for a number between 1 and 20. Easy. Okay. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20.
The answer is 11.
11. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's the third book in a series, so we're gonna go again. Hey Siri, pick a number between 1 and 20.
It's 4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Lessons in chemistry? Okay. I don't really know how to feel about this. I mean, I've heard brilliant things about it, but I don't know. It's quite small fun, but it's also only like 300 and something pages. Okay, Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus, I think it is. I don't know how to feel, but yeah, that's a book picked by the number generator. Prompt number 3. I'm kind of intimidated with Lessons in Chemistry, to be honest. Oops, that one fell out, so we'll go with this. We had this before, but I feel like it'll be alright to do again. We've got a book I'm planning on annotating. So that'll be one that I feel like I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna love, because I only annotate books that I know that I'm going to keep. I get rid of anything that I rate kind of 3 stars or less. So this, I don't know, let's see. What do I have on the summer TBR that I could do? Oh, you know what? I've chosen this one. I'm going to go get it though because it's in the other room. Okay, for a book that I'm planning on annotating, I'm going to choose A Sudden Smile by Françoise Sagan. This is actually a bind up of 2 of her titles, Bonjour Tristesse and A Sudden Smile. A Sudden Smile is on my summer TBR, but it's also a book that I know I'm for sure going to annotate because I annotated the first half of this book. I'm really, really excited for this, and it's only like 100 pages, so I feel like I could whiz through this as well. Okay, prompt number 4. 2 books on the summer TBR already. We love to see it. This one's folded up very tightly. This one says from a favourite author. So I think what I'm going to choose, I already know, is Exteriors by Ernaux because I've read 2 of Ernaux's work. One of them was my favourite book of last year, so I feel like it makes sense that she would be a new favourite author. Exteriors is a really short little book as well, so I feel like it's a good one to add to the TBR because I can definitely get it ticked off. Okay, prompt number 5. This could be the last prompt, it might not be. I might choose another one depending on what we get for this. Right, this is interesting. We've got a book I want to film a reading vlog for. I've been in the middle of a bunch of reading vlogs and I've recently got rid of a couple of them in terms of like I've actually uploaded them, which means that I'm only in the middle of my Anna Karenina one, so I could pick a different book. You know what I'm gonna choose? I'm gonna choose, where the heck is it? Am I being blind? Oh, I'm so stupid. Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I've put this on a TBR before, but I didn't get to it in the end. I think because I just didn't have time for it, but I want to film a one book focus reading vlog on this because I'm filming it for the rest of the series, and this is the 3rd book in the Addicted series, and I feel like it's about time that I read it, so it's probably good that I got it for this prompt. Okay, so that's 5 books. Should we go for a 6th? I feel like I'm going to do something kind of wild and go for a 6th. Then we could always audiobook the 6th, or maybe I'll audiobook Lesson in Chemistry. We'll see. Part of a series. Okay, so this has to be a book that's in the middle of a series, not a book that's like starting a new series, if that makes sense. So I feel like maybe, I don't know, I could do Powerless by Elsie Silver, The Love Wager by Lynn Painter, could do The Toll by Neil Schusterman, one of the Spiderwick books, Heart So Fierce and Broken, Iron Flame even, it's down here, you can't see. We've got The Prisoner's Throne. That's about it. I think I'm gonna choose The Love Wager. I've been in quite a big fantasy mood at the moment, but we haven't got any fantasy on the TBR, which is kind of interesting. But we've got 2 romance books, 2 kind of non-fics, a classic and a lit fic, hist fic kind of book. I'm okay with that. This is a short little book and it could be kind of fun. Okay, so there we go. Those are the 6 books. Let's quickly run through them. I'm bringing this stool over so I can kind of stack the books and hopefully you will be able to see them all next to me. I'm not sure what order we went in, but I'll just kind of try my best to tell you. Read the first sentence and decide off that. We chose Too Much and Not the Mood. This is a really highly rated essay collection by an author who's actually the director for the new adaptation of Bonjour Tristesse. I love Bonjour Tristesse and I'm so excited to see the new film adaptation. That's the reason why I was initially kind of drawn to this book, as well as seeing mutuals really love this one. So that is the first book on the TBR. I should have a pretty good time with it because it's essays, so like if you don't like one then you're bound to like another. First book on the TBR. A random number generator chose Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmus. This is a historical fiction book following a woman, she's a chemist, Elizabeth Zott. So we have a woman, she works in STEM, the people she works with are all men, and she gets kind of fired or let go from her job because of her views like being conflicting with theirs. But instead of falling in a heap, she signs up to be the presenter of a cooking show, and cooking has a lot of similarities with science, but the majority of her audience are women because it's the 1960s and those are the main people cooking in the home. Changes the lives of all these women through her cooking program. I think this sounds amazing. I went to cooking school, so I'm very familiar with that world. I'm also familiar with like the linkages between that and science. There are a lot of very talented people in my class who actually were scientists who would like change their profession to be chefs. So I think this is going to be a really, really interesting book. I'm just slightly intimidated by it. I feel like this could be great because it really kind of like took the world by storm a little bit when it was first released. From a favourite author, we had Exteriors by Ernaux. This is a collection of little snippets of Ernaux's life. It concentrates on ephemeral encounters that take place just on the periphery of a person's lived environment. I kind of have no idea what to expect, but I also love Ernaux, as the prompts might suggest. I feel like I'm going to enjoy this, like, no matter what it's about, so we'll see. I'll let you know how I get on with that. Probably tell you more of the actual contents of it in my July wrap up. For a book I'm planning on annotating, I chose A Sudden Smile by françoise Sagan, which is a little kind of like novella. I think it's about an affair. Dominique, a young woman bored with her lover, begins an encounter with an older man that unfolds in unexpected and troubling ways. I adored Bonjour Tristesse. I did an entire one book focused reading vlog for it. I'll have that linked up in the cards and also down below. And I read that book May of last year, so I feel like it's about time that I got around to reading another piece of work by Sagan. And like I said, summer TBR, so really happy to be able to kind of check that off the list. For a book I want to film a reading vlog for, I chose Addicted for Now by Krista and Becca Ritchie. If I don't get to this book this month, I will be so unimpressed with myself because I've been wanting to read it for the longest time. I have a beautiful signed copy of this book, personalised and signed, because I want to give away on Instagram, which is super exciting. Mostly following Lily and Lo at this current stage, who are two best friends, both addicts, and they kind of fake date to hide their addictions from the people who love them. But there's like a proper relationship that ends up forming between the two of them. You will see the relationship of Lily's sisters as well. I'm really excited to kind of get further into this series. I feel like it's only going to get really, really good in the later books, so I'm slowly making my way there. Fingers crossed, if I'm not a stupid person, if I'm not a literal idiot, this book will get read in July. And then lastly, for a book that's part of a series, I chose The Love Wager by Lynn. This is a bit of a stretch because this is like a series of interconnected standalones. The first book being Mr. Wrong Number, a book I literally was obsessed with. I loved it so much. I gave it 4 stars and it was one of the funniest books I've ever read. I love Lynn Painter's writing. I've read Better Than the Movies by her as well and adored that. That was a 5-star read. So I'm really, really excited to explore more of her work, and I've heard even better things about this one than I have heard about Mr. Wrong Number. So I feel like this could be really, really great. I got given this for my birthday last year. My birthday's in July, so it's coming up to a year of me having received this. So I think it's about time I read it. It's been kind of a bit of a full circle moment to have received it almost a year ago. I might read this across my birthday time. So there you have it. Those are the 6 books. My room is so hot. Okay, I'm so excited for every single one of these. I feel like they could all be really, really impactful, interesting reads. I also like that we've got quite a few short works in here, so the ones that are a bit more intimidating, like the writing and lessons in chemistry or the length of Addicted for Now, might feel more achievable because of the other shorter books I'm going to be reading. I can kind of intersperse them in between, and if I'm really craving fantasy, I'll throw one in there and let you know what that is at the end of the month, of course. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for being here. If you want to subscribe and see whether I get to these books by the end of the month, please do so. I'd absolutely love to have you here. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it to let me know that you did. I love these videos. I film them every single month and they're just the best time. So I'll have my playlist of TBR videos in the description box in case you want to watch more of these, in case you're a fan, because I know that I am. If I find a new booktuber and they do this video, then I am going through and watching every single one they've ever done because there's something so fun about it. I don't know, it's kind of as fun to make as it is to watch, although it is like slightly stressful just because you never know what the TBR jar is going to give you. Sending my love to you from here to wherever you may be in the world, and I'll see you in a couple of days for a new video. Bye bye.